It's undeniable at this point that YouTube might be the greatest educational resource in existence right now, but interestingly enough, very few people make good use of it. To simplify it, we can classify viewers who consume educational content into two groups. The first group of people are the ones who've consumed educational content for years, whether it's about health, business, relationships, but barely anything has changed in their lives at a tangible level. And sadly, there's a lot of people in this group. Then the second group of people are the ones who have effectively educated themselves through YouTube and consequently changed their lives for the better, which I would say for me that's been the case. Most of the things that I have achieved, I can trace them back to YouTube, implanting an idea in me or learning something valuable here. But this brings up the interesting question of what is the difference between these two groups? How could it be that even though they have access to the same magical tool, they get completely different outcomes? Well, obviously, it's how they are using this tool, and it's how they are interacting with the content they consume. Group one, basically, they are passive students. They don't put into practice the things that they learn. And what happens is that when you watch educational content, but you don't do anything with it, you don't apply it, you're transforming it into entertainment content. The real difference between educational content and entertainment content is whether you do something with what you're learning or not. And if you passively watch educational content, in a way, it's just intellectual masturbation. Because you might think that you're getting smarter and learning a lot because you're watching all these videos, but in reality you're not. If you truly want to learn and you want things to change and improve and get positive results, you have to stop passively consuming. When you stumble upon something valuable, there are three things that you have to do. Number one is to pause and think deeply about how you can apply it. Make a plan on how it could be implemented in your life. Then number two is to write it down. Make it tangible so that it's not just like an idea that's floating there and you forget about it. And then lastly, number three is to go apply it. Because otherwise, what's the point of consuming that kind of content? You're just fooling yourself. You might as well just go watch a movie. And I know what some of you might be thinking, which is like, hey, but not all the things that I learn are applicable. Maybe I'm watching a video on history or something. Okay, then at least take notes, as I explained in this video that I posted a few weeks ago. In that case, just write it down and store it in your knowledge database. But if it's something tangible that you're learning, something about how to improve your business, your health, your relationships, then do this exact same thing that I explained right here. And not just write it down, but write down how you will apply it. And this part I said of actually pausing after you consume new information is crucial. Because when you receive new information into your brain, it doesn't immediately get crystallized 100%. Your brain needs some pause to let it sink in, to transform it from short-term memory into long-term memory. But the problem is that if right after you consume some new fresh piece of information, you immediately jump to something else and you receive a lot of new inputs, you're not giving your brain enough time to assimilate the first one. So it's just going to get flushed out by the new information. And look, this whole process of sitting down and thinking about what you just learned and how to apply it, this process is for everything. This goes beyond YouTube. Not just videos, but courses, books, events that you attend to, even conversations that you have with people. And something that I've noticed is that a lot of times people label a piece of content they consumed as useless, when in fact the problem is their inability to make use of that content. For example, many years ago, Tai Lopez released a course on e-commerce and everyone said that it was really, really bad and that Tai Lopez is a scammer and yada, 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 you know, all these things. Well, back then in 2018, I took that course because back then I didn't know anything about e-commerce. And this course taught me all of the basics that I needed to know. And from there, with that foundation, I took the reins, I took massive action and went on to build a store that within 8 months reached 100K a month. Meanwhile, other people who took the exact same course got nothing out of it. People who I actually knew and talked to very often, but they barely had any success. And I feel it's because people nowadays, they want to be spoon-fed everything. It's the same thing with the videos you watch online. You gotta put in some effort from your end to figure out how you can apply all the things that you're learning into your life. And I think, in fact, this effect of passively learning is even more noticeable on YouTube, because on YouTube, every single creator has the incentive to focus a lot on viewer retention. Because if you can manage to make a video that people will watch almost all the way through, the YouTube algorithm is going to reward that massively. And YouTube will be serving your video to a lot of new people. That's how things go viral. But the way you increase viewer retention is by making the videos more entertaining. But the problem is that because of this, it's now easier than ever to watch hours and hours of educational content and be tricked into thinking that you're learning a lot. But in reality, you're just entertaining yourself. So you should be really aware of this. Now, if you're going to take what I explain in this video seriously and you want to start educating yourself, not just entertaining yourself, you need to keep two things in mind. Number one is that you need to learn how to discern what is valuable content from what is not valuable content. You don't want garbage ideas in your life. That's what keeps a lot of people stuck. There's an endless supply of bad ideas from persuasive speakers nowadays. The previous video I posted on my channel is literally about this, so I don't need to repeat this point again. But what you can do is just start asking yourself on every single video that you watch, what did I actually learn on this video that I can apply in my life? What are some tangible lessons? What did I just watch? And over time, you might realize that so much of the content you watch is actually worthless, and you'll become better at selecting more valuable and relevant content for yourself. And the second thing to keep in mind is do not overwhelm yourself by applying too many things at once. If you have the opposite problem and now all of a sudden you have like a lot of really good ideas that you want to implement, slow it down, okay? It's better to have like one solid change a week than trying to half-ass something new every single day. Because what we're looking for here are permanent improvements in our lives, okay? And now here comes the ultimate question for you. Will you apply what you just learned on this video? Will you stop to think about it and make a plan? Or was this just entertainment for you? Think about it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here, because I post videos very often talking about how to become a life polymath by mastering health, wealth, relationships, and spirituality, which I think is a pretty cool goal. So subscribe. I'll see you very soon. Take care. Have a great life. Peace.